y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm driving right now. I wanted to give you guys just an update on what is going on with the progenies, because as many of you guys are fans of the series, I feel like you deserve to know what is going on with the show right now. I keep telling myself that I don't owe anybody anything, but people have been asking questions, asking what is going on with the show. So I will just tell you guys what exactly is going on. I'm not gonna lie, I love the progenies. The progenies is my baby. As you guys know, Descendants is my first love. I love Descendants with all my heart. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. So this show that I am making, it is very near and dear to my heart. But I have to be straight up honest, because it's not an easy process. The first time I ever really started having doubts about the progenies in the first place was when we did the pilot. And if you guys remember when we did the pilot, it kind of was a disaster. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys what happened. So for those who are trying to figure out where this fits in the progenies timeline, all the shorts, like the other episodes, all of this shit takes place before the pilot, okay? And then once we start production again, everything we do will be taking place after that pilot. So the main issue that we are getting into is not really much of an issue, but I was just super duper excited to do this project. Like, oh my gosh, I'm actually fucking doing this. Like, I saved up my money to put this project together. The pilot altogether cost us $2,000. Being like really straight up with you guys, I'm telling y'all, this production is not cheap. Like, whoever lies to y'all and said that you can make a movie with $0 and 0 cents, they also just fucking lying to you. Like, don't believe those people. Also, one thing y'all need to do is like stop listening to people that say you can start a business with $0 and 0 cents. They're fucking lying to you. You can't start much of anything without money. That's just the truth. Oh my god, Moreland Avenue is literally like the worst fucking road to drive on. But we did the progenies. I scouted out 2 actors who are Chastity and Zenitra. We just call her Nitra. And then the other 3 actors were, you know, me. Tashana is my friend, and then also Jayla is my friend. So, and then Tatiana, photo photography, is literally one of my closest friends. Like, all of these people are my friends. But like, me and Tatiana met at school, and I remember she was telling me about how she wanted to get more into doing videography and shit like that. And I was like, oh hey, let's go, let's make this project. And then Kat, they directed the episode for me then. So everything went pretty well. I felt very confident about the pilot, and I loved it so much because I sat there and I rewatched it numerous times, and I was like, I actually am very satisfied with the way this has turned out. I'm really telling Descendants through the lens of a black woman. Like, I'm very happy with the way this is going. So I already was gonna make the pilot, but then I found out Campus Movie Fest, which was a film festival that I had entered in the year before last, where I entered in a short film. It wasn't all that great, I'm gonna be real, and I actually did place with that one. I was so surprised, but I did work hard on that, and I was very satisfied with the way it came out. I didn't move on to finalists or anything like that, but I did place. So Campus Movie Fest comes around, and it turns out that because of like the deadline that we had, and the filming day ended up getting pushed back because I was called to go to work at the last minute on Friday. So we were supposed to film the pilot on a Friday. We ended up filming it on a Monday. So I had to talk to the person whose home we was renting, and she was like, yeah, it's fine, thank you for letting me know. I talked to everybody in the cast. They were like, yes, I am okay with that. I talked to the crew, and because of like, you know, the change of time, because they probably had shit they needed to do on Monday, I did have to pay them extra for, you know, that slight change in it. So just kind of like, you know, they had to take off for that time, just, you know, being considerate. So after that, by the way, y'all, if you guys are like wondering what's going on with my mouth, I just it's been like really dry out lately, like with the changes in the weather, and I end up having like a bad eczema breakout on my mouth, so I hope that isn't too distracting for anybody. But after that, we entered it in Campus Movie Fest, and they told me to submit like, okay, here's a video that we want you guys to send in if you win. So I'm over here, I have my what the actual fuck, did this bitch really just put his like sticker on like the traffic cones out here? Y'all doing anything for clout. Anyway, the night comes of like, you know, Campus Movie Fest, and they were like, welcome, your movie premiere is going to be today. So we were all hyped up and everything. We were like super duper duper hyped up for like the premiere, because we were like, yes, everybody's gonna see our movie, everyone's gonna see our pilot, everyone's gonna be super duper happy and whatnot. And a lot of the people that did come to that premiere, like, you know, the YouTube premiere thing, a lot of them were in there strictly for us, which that did make me happy. I was like, wow, my people actually wanted to show up and show out for us. Like, that made me really happy to know that the support group is there. So moving on, the night is going on, and we're just like, okay, everybody's like, where's the progenies, where's the progenies, where's the progenies? So we're just sitting here and constantly waiting for our movie to get screened, and it didn't get screened, like, at all. They started cussing out Campus Movie Fest in the chat. It was just a disaster, like a really big disaster. So I was like really like sad. Like, I was honestly devastated, because during that same day, like the day before our movie premiere, I had gotten in a car accident. So I was already very like emotional. I was already very distraught and tired. And also what led me to getting in that car accident is because I was coming home from work. As you guys know, I do work a lot, so I can, like, you know, have the money to do like my show, like to do, you know, the progenies. That's part of the reason why I was working so much at the time. So that's why that happened. That's why that shit happened right there. I was just really tired from like overworking myself so much. And next thing I know, I was just already very emotional from the events that took place. Y'all, are all the lights out on Moreland Avenue today? Like, Atlanta people, y'all know what I'm talking about. Moreland fucking Avenue. What is this? What is this, honey? Okay. But anyway, so, oh my god, this is a disaster. Where's the po-po? I need to be directing this shit. So moving on, I was just already distraught, and then next thing you know, I tried, like, because I was like, your followers are a reflection of you. I didn't want them out here, you know, embarrassing me, cussing out the board and all that. But in that moment, I just didn't care, because I was just like, no, I literally worked my ass off to win this festival, and I got nothing out of it. And I was angry, and I was like, I wasted all my time, I wasted all my money. So I was just really distraught right there. That was like the first time I ever really had doubts about the progenies, for the most part, was that entire situation with Campus Movie Fest. But because of how bad like that situation was, because we was over here talking shit on Instagram Live about how angry we were and everything, Campus Movie Fest, the Instagram page, actually came in there to listen to what we were saying and everything. So I was just like, okay, I didn't want to hear it. So they sent me an email because of, I don't know who you honking at, sir, but get your shit together. Anyway, so because of the way y'all acted out on the day of Campus Movie Fest premiere, where we thought the progenies was gonna air. By the way, they put the episode out on after they put it out on YouTube after the show was over, and it had more views than the show. So that was funny. But they had to have a meeting with me because y'all out here embarrassing me. I tried to tell y'all to stop, but I was like, no, they upset me. They had to have a meeting with me because of that right there. So I was just like, I don't want to sit here and talk to y'all. Y'all told me, y'all didn't pick my movie. I don't want to sit and talk to you guys about this at all. Okay. So moving on, they had the meeting with me. They basically told me that just because you enter in the contest, you're not guaranteed to win, and this and that and the third, and all of that jazz and whatever. And I was like, okay, I completely understand. Like, I was still very frustrated and just still very hurt, because it's like the production value of the Progenies was extremely different than everyone else's. Like, it's like, oh, like you can tell they put money into this. And I think that's part of the reason why we didn't win, because Campus Movie Fest is usually about like making a movie with what you have. And the thing is, like, we shot this on 2 Canon cameras. We had lighting. It wasn't expensive lighting. We rented a home to filming it for like the Oregon Prep dorms. We rented a home. I hired actors. I hired a PA. Like money was like put into this. I don't know, but that's why that happened. So that was really like the first ever doubts that I began to have with the Progenies. And then was like, okay, I want to go ahead and start looking for like the new actors for like the other episodes that we were gonna do. The script was already written and everything. It took me until I finished like the Progeny scripts like in January. Like, the scripts are still there. They're probably gonna have some tweaks and stuff like that, but the script is done. They're already there. Like, I already know how the story is gonna go down. But then when it was February coming around, February of 2021, I had ended up losing my grandfather. And 2 months before, I lost my grandmother. So I lost my grandparents within the time span of like 2 months, and that really did hurt me, and that was just really hard on me, because like after that I like disappeared from like the internet for like a week. And somebody oh my god, y'all be so fucking rude to me, because I remember I was talking about, hey, I had to take some time away, and somebody was like, just because someone in your family dies doesn't mean you can take time off. I was just like, y'all are so out of pocket. But okay, after that happened, I decided to, and right around this time period where my grandfather died, this is when my mother was getting more and more sick. And that was just very emotional on me. It was very taxing, and it was just very hard to deal with. And it really did affect like my overall well-being for the most part. It was just really hard to like cope with. And I was just like, I can't be like out all the time, like on set, like for my show. Like, I feel like I would have been just very selfish of me to like, knowing that my mother is at home and she needs help. I felt like that would have been just very selfish of me to be, out doing my own thing when I need to be at home assisting her. So I was just like, I want to still do the show, but I'm not going to be able to devote all this time to it like I thought. So I decided to, instead, I let the cast know, I let the crew know what exactly was going on with my family. And I was like, in order for me to be there with my mom, and in order for me to still put the show out there, because I already told the people that the show is gonna come out this year, I was like, okay, I think I remember, y'all know Descendants Wicked World is basically like, little 2-minute episodes of like Descendants, because Descendants is a movie. So I was like, why don't I kind of do like my own version of Descendants Wicked World, but instead this is gonna, take place before the pilot, so people will get a better feel of who everyone is, and like what Oregon Prep is like, and how the characters are and whatnot. So I was like, okay, so we can do that to like build some resolution there. So that's when I like let it known to the cast, and they were down. They still wanted to do the short and everything like that. So everyone knows I was already like working my ass off like during this entire time period, because I was like, this is my show, this is my passion project, and I have to make it. Like, this is my baby. I love this. I can't like no, like, I love the progenies, I love Descendants. Then I was just like, no, this is my passion project. I'm going through it right now, but I just need to keep working so I can have the money to do what I need with the show and whatnot. And I already know the show's production wasn't gonna be perfect. Like, y'all, film production is fucking expensive. Like, it costs so damn much. Like, I tell y'all don't, how much you think it takes to make a show and how long you think it takes, you probably are completely wrong. So during that happened, we filmed the shorts, and it was just really kind of hard for me to, I did enjoy it. I like my cast, I like my crew, I love the entire Progenies family, but it was just so hard for me to kind of enjoy that because it was like in the back of my mind, I was just like, my mom needs me right now. That's why the episode was so short, because I was like, I can't be out all day like I could. And I couldn't go too far out because I didn't want like something to go wrong. And something did happen like that where I was like filming the Progenies like one day, and I come home and my mother really did need me, and I felt extremely guilty. So that happened, and then we filmed it, and the next thing you know, I was doing the red carpet and everything like that. Like, I felt very confident about it because I was satisfied with the shots we got. I loved the way it looked. My cast was so amazing. I really was happy with the way that it turned out. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be perfect. I keep saying that, like, I'm still growing as a filmmaker. I'm still growing as a writer and whatnot. I know that it wasn't going to be all that. Like, I'm not trying to, I don't like, because people have told me that they think I'm too cocky and whatnot, and I was like, no, just because I don't openly fucking hate myself doesn't mean I'm cocky. Like, I'm proud of the Progenies. I should be proud of that, because unlike a lot of y'all that like to sit and talk shit but then say you want to have your own show, I actually went out and did it. I'm sorry about that. So when the time came around, like, you know, we were putting the episodes out, I was extremely happy and whatnot. And mind you that during this time period, the reason why I was working so hard to get the money for the Progenies is because we only made $300 in donations. And we only made $300 in donations, and that did not even cover one day of filming. Like, absolutely not. Like, it didn't, no. Like, when it came to like renting the filming locations and everything, that did not cover much of anything. It probably covered 2 of my actors, maybe 3 of my actors' paychecks. But other than that, like, that did not cover makeup. It did not cover costumes. It didn't cover anything, really. But I was very grateful and thankful for the donations that everyone had sent in. Now, moving on, because of us not really getting donations, because we started our campaign and our campaign went on for 2 months, we just didn't get it. I didn't want that to discourage me from making the show, and that is also when I started to have doubts again about the show, because we didn't receive any donations. So I already was having a lot of doubts because the campus moviefest situation happened. I needed to be there to care for my mother, and then also us not getting donations. And I was just kind of getting really hurt because, like, during this time period, a lot of people were like complaining about this and that and the third and whatnot, and then even some people were complaining about my writing, and that made me kind of angry because I'm an artist. Okay, we're all gonna be like protective of our writing, but the only things I really took seriously when it came to like I'm trying to park to where people won't be looking at me. So I think, like, I didn't really care when people, like, after a while I was like, it's just constructive criticism, whatever. I didn't really care when people were saying things about the writing, but I was getting really kind of frustrated because people were saying the show looked like shit, it looks ugly, it's terrible, I hate, like, people were just like being like really like fucking rude. And I understand that, like, I put this out to the public and people have the right to critique it, but a lot of the shit that people were saying, it wasn't even constructive criticism, it was just people being rude. Like, I remember there were people complaining about the diversity, saying that there was none. And I was just like, I'm really starting to think that y'all have never seen that many black people in one room at one time. Like, I was just getting kind of really irritated, and I was trying to do better about like the way I let people's opinions and things like affect me and whatnot. But I did like talk to like my friends, and I talked to people, and I like was taking critiques on what I could do to, you know, improve on like certain aspects of the show. But one thing I was getting really angry about is because so many people kept complaining about the writing. No, not the writing. People kept complaining about the cameras. People kept complaining about the lighting. People kept complaining about like every little thing that people were complaining that the episodes were too short, which I clearly said that these were going to be shorts. But people were complaining about like everything that could have been fixed if we had donations. So I like, you know, I was just very emotional. I was just very distraught. And the thing about it is that during all of this time period, because people don't seem to realize that what a person is going through really does affect the way they take criticism. Because the reason why it was so hard for me to take all of this, like the people going off about things that could have been fixed if we had more money, main reason why I was getting so upset was because the main reason why I had to hold back, because especially when it came to why the episodes were so short, one of the main reasons why I had to hold back with the show in general is because I needed to be there to care for my mother. And it's just a lot of people didn't seem to understand that, and a lot of people didn't seem to respect that, because a lot of people were like talking to me, they were like, you haven't really been posting like descendants content that much or anything like that. And people have been asking me, what is going on with your show? Where's the progenies? We love the show, like where is it? And I just kind of had to push it away for a little bit because of like the emotional distress that it put on me, and the way people were being towards me during that time. I felt like I just wasn't in the best state, because I remember people were telling me, they were like, if you don't have the money to get more expensive equipment and this and that and the third, and like better filming locations and better outfits and just like, people were just being dickheads. They were like, if you didn't have the money to do a more high budget production, you shouldn't have done it at all. And I absolutely digress. Y'all should not tell people things like that, okay? That literally discourages people from creating art. Like, literally everyone starts out with $0 and 0 cents. Not all of us. Sam Levinson literally over here making a good looking show that's actually complete shit. But people are over here, the fact that you tell somebody not to make something because they don't have Disney money or Netflix money or anything is actually very distasteful. It's actually very fucking stupid. People that don't have all that much money are allowed to create art too. Just because it's not your like way of them doing it, like they'd be like, why don't you just draw? Why don't you make a comic? Okay, my passion is telling things through film. Okay, like people just don't seem to realize how fucking rude they can be sometimes. I have been, because I do want to get the progenies back up and going, but I feel like part of the reason why I just needed a break from it, because grieving is not easy. Like, it's actually very hard. And I've been focused a lot more on school, and I kind of just been trying to do better about taking care of myself and who I am as a person, and still like trying to figure out things and whatnot. But I did take a break. I kind of just took a break from everything in general, and I did slowly want to get back into the process of starting up my projects and everything like that. But it is hard, like, because people have been like, why you don't upload as much as you used to, why you don't do this and that and the third. My mom died, y'all. Like, give me a break. My mother died. Like, give me a break. Of course it's gonna be a little hard for me to get things done. Like, the woman that I lived with my whole life, we may have had our issues and whatnot, but I loved her. She was my mom, and I was there for her last few days. But people are just rude as hell, okay? People are just rude as hell. But I have been like trying to get back up, like starting up, like, you know, posting back again on YouTube and writing again and whatnot, because I am starting up my store again. I started working on that, but I can't really guarantee I'm going to be doing much for like the whole 2020, because this I literally lost 3 of the most important people in my life within the span of 1 year. Like, y'all got to give me a break. Okay? So I am trying everything in my will not to cry, because people be like, you only crying for attention. Shut up. But I have been thinking about, because I really do want to start the projects back up, but it's just kind of like because of all the emotional distress that I am in because of my family member's death. It's been very rough for me to kind of do things. Like, it's just very difficult for the most part, and I have been wanting to start the projects back up. And everybody knows I only do work, and I'm working school. When I'm not doing that, I'm trying to, like, you know, deal with the grief properly and in healthy ways and whatnot, and in that way it's really making things. Like, I started drawing again, I started writing more again, and everything like that. That's how I've always really dealt with the pain in my life. That's really just kind of how I've always Oh my God, will y'all shut the fuck up? So because of that, I have been considering like looking for another job to like start saving up again to get the Progenies production up and going. But I'm just debating on whether or not do I really want to do that, because I literally overworked myself. I think that's part of the reason why the grieving process has been so difficult for me, because I've just been really tired, and a lot of that had to do for like overworking myself for like almost a year to fund my passion project and whatnot. But I'm just like, am I ready to step up and overwork myself again for the sake of my art? It's just something to think about. I'm like, do I really want to do that? Is it worth it? And I have been considering doing crowdfunding again, trying, but I'm just like, I just don't really feel confident with trying to do crowdfunding anymore. I'm just telling the truth, because I was like, we only made $300 last time. I don't know. The Progenies is not over, y'all. Okay, like, it's still going strong. We have 2 more shorts that are gonna come out. They're gonna come out whenever, because at this point I don't know when they're coming out. The show's still going. Just know that it's gonna take a while's process. All these independent productions that y'all like to watch on YouTube, like The Miraculous Office AU and Hell of a Boss, like, I'll even throw them damn Rooster Teeth shows in there too, okay? A lot of these, even the Scott Pilgrim dub, it takes a while. It takes a while for independent creators to create art. And the Progenies is just gonna take a while. I hope you guys understood this. I'll see, do I want to go get another job to fund this project? Do I just want to rest up still and deal with my grief properly, which I should do? Or do I want to attempt crowdfunding again and just be prepared to be disappointed? But thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day whenever I do upload this. Love you guys. Thank you for watching, and have a good afternoon, because it's currently afternoon as I'm filming this. Goodbye.